and it's day 373 of Vladimir Putin's 10-day special military operation. And there's been activity across the whole of the front line. In particular, around the Donetsk area, the Russians have been trying to attack to the north and south of Donetsk, and then further up in the north, in the Crimea area, and of course Bakhmut, which I'll talk about more in a moment. The Russians have also been attacking civilian infrastructure in the Ukrainian-held area of the Donetsk Oblast, and last night there were 38 attacks from artillery or missiles. But also yesterday we have seen a visit allegedly into the Donetsk area by the Russian defence minister. Russian MOD have put out some pictures of him walking around some of the destroyed towns and handing out awards to Russian soldiers. However, we haven't been able to georeference this particular footage. And the last time Shoigu came and was allegedly at the front line, it was filmed somewhere else. But it's all part of the Russian information campaign, or the disinformation campaign that they're putting out, trying to encourage the soldiers for the battles that they've got ahead. Now, focusing into Bakhmut, the Russians are increasing their circling from the north and coming in from the east, and the pressure is growing through the city. But that pressure has been growing for the last 7+ months. And for that 7 months, the Ukrainians have been fixing the Russians in place, and they've been, according to the Ukrainian Minister of Defence, killing 7 Russians for every 1 Ukrainian casualty that there's been. However, it is only a matter of time before that pincer squeezes Bakhmut to the point where the Ukrainians feel that they have to withdraw and trade space for time. They will have pre-prepared further blocking positions and defensive positions further back. And I don't really see it as being a victory for the Russians. It's taken them so long to take somewhere that hasn't got any real strategic significance. Moving on further, when we start to look at the global impacts of this, we've got the Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov has been finishing off at the end of the G20 with some meetings in India. And at his latest one yesterday, he tried to say that the war in Ukraine is a war which we tried to stop as it was launched against us by the West using Ukrainian people. The reaction of the Indian audience was one of laughter. Now, the world is splitting into 2 real sections here. An element that is not condemning Russia, and that's China, India, Pakistan, Iran, and a number of others. And then the Western-aligned countries that are backing Ukraine. And Russia is exploiting that by turning around saying that the impact that is happening on a global basis is because of the sanctions against Russia rather than Russia's war on Ukraine. And that impact is being felt globally, especially with grain and cooking oil, in particular in the third world countries. But we felt it with the energy crisis that there's been throughout Europe and the rest of the West.